decision to finally leave my corporate job and leave the safety of that easy paycheck, laying awake at night, every emotion you can imagine.
You're listening to Selling the Dream. This isn't an interview, and we're not journalists, but each week we'll ask our guests to open up and share their secrets to business success. Let's have a conversation and have some fun.
So, stemming off the last time we were here, for the last 2 years, I've been working as the head of coaching for Compass Real Estate nationally. I was traveling around the country, teaching agents in different areas. It was an incredible job and an incredible journey. But there was a point in probably November-ish where I looked up and I was like, man, my daughter's 14. My son's 11. And, the traveling and everything, I enjoyed it. But at the end of the day, it takes a lot of toll. And I always had this burning desire. I've been an entrepreneur pretty much my entire life, from being a 12-year-old paperboy to like building a real estate career and title companies and, helping Compass launch. And really, even though it is a corporation, it felt like a startup. It was a startup company. So I had this desire to get back to being an entrepreneur. And I made the decision, been working towards a decision, but at the end of February, I made the decision to finally leave my corporate job and leave the safety of that easy paycheck and the benefits and all that, and jump back into being an entrepreneur. And I launched the With Heart Coaching Company, which is my new passion project, and hopefully is going to be something that's going to impact, so many lives as I build it out and start to take it forward here.
Awesome, man. So before we get into what that is, tell me a little bit about what that was like, that idea. Like, you're thinking, all right, I'm going to go from corporate. Now I'm going to go back into the entrepreneur space. I mean, it had to be a little bit scary.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster, right? There's these moments of extreme highs. I just got done coaching a 90-person team in California. So I'm so high after that, right? It's such an amazing feeling, and people are so impacted, and it's like what my purpose is. And then there's really low lows where it's like you're laying awake at night thinking, oh my God, I didn't get to this. I need to do this. This still needs to be done. Or in the middle, you got those like little moments of sort of imposter syndrome that you go through, right, where you're looking at these other coaching websites and you're like, wow, my website I have so much work to do on marketing, on this, on the website. My programs aren't built out the way those are yet. And so you battle all these emotions. And honestly, I think in many ways, like this process of starting and building a company, in many ways, I'm doing it for myself as well. Some of the programs I'm running are actually messages I'm trying to give myself, right? So in many ways, this is a process for any entrepreneur. The guarantee is you're going to be in the roller coaster, right? And the difference is, what are the systems you're implementing to make sure you're managing the ups and the downs, so they actually are little ripples and not just big, massive waves, if that makes sense. So yeah, every emotion you can imagine, from excitement to sadness to elation to fear to joy, etc. All the range of emotions I've felt over this last 2 months of sort of launching this company and taking everything forward.
So when you were deciding that, okay, you're going to take the leap, you're going to go out on your own and do this, talk to us about, because one of the biggest things I know with business owners, entrepreneurs, you're like, I have this great idea. And I think that we kind of touched on it maybe inadvertently here, what's the monetization plan? Like, how do I get people, I have this idea, I know I can help people do this. How am I going to make a living doing it? What was that process for you like? And is that continually refining or?
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably about 45 days out, and obviously getting everything set up. You're bleeding money right now in startup world, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So there's anxiety at night when you go to bed. So the way that I'm structuring it, and I'll use a crawl, walk, run kind of analogy, right? In this crawl phase, which I'm barely out of the womb right now. my number one goal is basically to start to build my community of people. And the goal there is like, let's make sure I create a program that's very inexpensive, very accessible for most people, and provides a ton of value for what they're paying. So that's a program I'm calling the Happier Human. And that's a program designed to allow for scale. Like there's a lot of people, but how do I actually, and I'm creating intimacy, connection, community, accountability, etc. Right. So that's the base layer of the coaching. On top of that, the next layer I'm doing is I'm taking a little twist on traditional one-on-one coaching. Once again, my view on traditional one-on-one coaching is that sometimes it can be really intimidating for people or very expensive. So what I'm allowing for is either one-on-one coaching, right, at a certain price, or if you want to bring two people into that same sort of price bracket, you'll split it. Or this is what's actually been really popular, is I will actually coach your team one week, you the next week. Your team the next week, you the next week. And that's actually been extremely popular because of the fact that a lot of team leaders are struggling right now on how to provide value to their team. Sure. So this is a really easy way where most people aren't trainers, aren't coaches. So this way they can hire me. I come in, I teach the team, but then I work with the team leader on elevating their leadership. So between the Happier Human, and then I'm calling this the Flex one-on-one program because it can flex to different things. On top of that, I'm going to have different, we'll call them sprints, right? Where there's going to be a 7-week course on how to build a repeat referral business. So there's going to be like little stints of options along those. So that's how I'm going to be scaling it financially in the crawl phase. As I start to walk, the other goal is going to be to bring other coaches into the ecosystem who specialize in things I don't specialize in. Financial management, mortgages, let's say, title insurance, whatever the category might be, nutrition, health and wellness, meditation. If I can create, and that's why I called it with heart coaching, is that this can become this ecosystem that anything I want to improve my life, I can go to With Heart and find an expert that is at With Heart. And for the expert, I'm taking off the management, the paying bills, the scheduling. I'm taking off that load. So almost picture like a brokerage for coaches. Yeah. Right. And then on the run phase, that's off in the future. That's where I envision us doing, sort of this all-encompassing community-based thing where we're actually trying to change the world.